Wait, is that what we have now? I don't remember. Yes, 13. We're all here.
No way.
Thank you.
Great honesty.
So we have a motion on the floor to open, to approve the minutes.
With the change,
Okay,
yep.
Yeah. Is Kevin's here, right? There you go, Kevin.
Hello.
You got the floor.
All right, so I will read off our January 2024 monthly report. Covers our visits between January 1st and January 31st, 2024. We made 2 monthly site visits during this period, had 1 follow-up visit during the month of January. We checked residency with 29 workers. We had 2 that were not compliant with invalid ID, and there were no new signs delivered during this period.
I didn't put his report in the packet. Look at that.
You're missing out.
What a hot mess. Sorry.
What do you do when you remember your original email?
I'm sorry?
What do you do when thank you.
If they don't have the proper ID. So we follow up within 24 hours. So if an individual does not have proof of residency on their person, if they present ID from out of area, say Texas or Onondaga, whatever it might be, we have to return within 24 hours to either verify that worker has something to show they live in Monroe County or the 9 surrounding counties, and or remove from the job site. We take down an individual's name, so on future visits when we go out there, we ensure that they're no longer on the project site. So right now there's only 1 job, currently Episcopal Senior Housing in Irondequoit, and then MCIDC also has the hospital project, the new ambulatory tower. I'm actually heading off to this afternoon for the first visit. We just kind of got the ball rolling with them, so I'll be there doing the first official audit today.
This is U of R.
U of R, yeah. So he only monitors bond projects.
Correct. Any other questions?
Thanks.
Okay. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Greg, financial report?
Yeah, I'll, you don't have this report either because it's not quite done yet, so
Right.
she didn't forget.
Because we pushed the meeting up a
Pushed the
week,
meeting
so
up,
that's
so
why.
the 7th was hard to turn it around. So just some highlights here. Cash balance combined with our cash and savings accounts about $650,000. We have about $450,000 in our micro loan account that we expect to probably expend over the next probably 60 days, is kind of 60, 90 days, depending on what that, have Tony add to that, but that's kind of what's in that account. And then 1 more CD that we have left to mature, and that's about it. So we close all the other accounts, consolidate all those accounts, and we're in a good position from that standpoint. Investments are about $3.8 million. Again, still going through the laddering process. We'll still continue to do that as directed and as working capital kind of changes. We'll let some of those maybe mature or kind of rebuy depending on what the market looks like. Everything else in terms of income and expenses is really right on track. The one thing I do want to mention, which is a good positive sign, is our investment income. Really, we got 3 really pieces that we measure now: is our interest that we're earning on our T-bills, the interest that we're earning on our LLF fund, and the micro loan program. That was about a little over $17,000 for the month. Again, that is now that obviously the micro loan program is new, but again, now that our RLF program has a decent a balance in there, it's about $1.6 million. I mean, although the interest is a little bit less, it's still generating $2,000-3,000 a month, and again, $17,000 of income that we really have never had. Our RLF program was never as big as it was, and we certainly didn't have micro loan, and we certainly weren't generating 5%-ish on our excess capital. So just something to consider as we build that portfolio up and that interest. We'll continue to report on that. So all in all, a good month for January.
We want you to double that, Greg. Any questions for Greg? I think that's pretty good news. We've really gotten our finances to where I think they're manageable now. I think last year we were, how many banks once again that we have?
Oh my God, right? How many banks were there?
12 or something like that?
At least, yeah. I think it was like
So we got that together and now got a handle on that and we're making income every month. So I think that's good. Good job with that. We need to go into executive session here for, we need to talk about financial information matter. So
moved.
get a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Tony? Okay, we need a motion to approve $400,000 SBA 504 commercial mortgage for the purpose of purchasing a 12,150 square foot building in the town of Brighton.
I'll make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Oh, she does.
Any abstention?
I abstain.
Okay,
Thank you.
got an abstention down there.
Yes, and I have to note that our new board members can't vote on SBA.
Oh, never mind.
We'll make it.
Okay, why is that?
Because they're not officially approved by the SBA yet. They have to get,
Well-
Carl's done.
Oh, I was okay then, okay.
I guess, we didn't, well, I don't think we've sent it in yet.
Oh, you didn't send it in yet, okay.
All right, well, let's go back once again because,
Yeah, I need the motion,
person
yeah.
that, moved the
Seconded.
motion.
Yeah,
She can motion
She
it
can
though, right?
motion,
Or,
Yeah, you can motion, you just can't, your vote doesn't count.
okay, so I can make a motion, but not.
Correct.
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but yes,
Yeah.
you're a
If she
valid board
can't, I
member.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll just change it.
okay.
He can.
So
I
you
know
got
I
a
got
report for us?
fingerprints.
It's our NAICS report. And I gotta put a few highlights on the last page. That isn't a fully inclusive list. But so some of the bigger numbers, I guess. Manufacturing takes up about 12 million, which is about 42% of our portfolio. Healthcare related companies, 3.6 million, 12%. Professional, scientific, technical, 2.7 million, 9.5%. Construction, we're at 2.3 of 8%. What's classified directly as retail, it's only 257,000, 0.9%. And things called other services, which group a bunch of things together, including automotive, beauty salons, dry cleaning, car wash, such. 4 million or another 14%. So it doesn't look too bad, at least at 42% manufacturing.
Any questions for Tom?
So with the exception of the ones you already talked about, these are all paying as agreed.
Correct. Yeah, we don't usually have many payment issues.
I have a question on, this is more just curiosity. On page 45, Premier Signs, who owns it and runs that?
Premier Signs was actually, that was a Redco loan. That was one where the husband and wife are having issues or getting divorced. One was supposed to buy out the other. We started going down the path of the wife.
The wife got it as part of the original settlement film, but she couldn't get financing to actually buy him out.
So now the
You
husband,
know, what's his name? I'm going back from that.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I don't.
It's a scam.
yeah, so now the husband's supposed to buy
So
the
now
wife
the husband
out.
was supposed to buy her out, and so he's applying for financing.
And he's,
Probably a bunch of the banks.
yeah, he hasn't been good about getting us information.
Mm.
He wasn't even when it was his wife buying it out, he couldn't get information on her. And I think when I last spoke to the bank about it, they were saying the same thing. They were still waiting for information from him. So they're over on, I think it's technically Excel Drive, but I would say they're in the outfield of the old Silver Stadium. It's on Norton Street. Guess that wasn't a good reference.
Unfortunately, I know where that is.
Okay.
I'm old enough.
Okay. Well, prior to '97, the Red Wings played at Silver Stadium, which was on Norton Street in between Seneca and Clinton.
And now there's an office park.
That's where this guy's located.
All right, we've already done the classified loan report, so we're gonna move to the dashboard. Robin?
Yes, so, and I apologize, I should have said this at the beginning. Anna's on vacation. She normally does not like to miss board meetings, but she scheduled her vacation months ago, and then when we we're doing our 2024 calendar. We moved this meeting up a week, which didn't help her, and because our staff will be in Albany next week for an economic development conference. So I should have said that at the beginning. She's not here. So you've also heard Anna talk about how we are going to look into like MCIDC, for lack of a better term, modernization, where we're going to be looking at all our programs and everything we do and come up with goals and objectives. Staff's working on that behind the scenes. It's going to take the year for us to get there, and you'll see things that we're doing on a monthly basis a little different, or that would, kind of help with transparency and reporting. So we've come, for those of you that have been on the board a while, we remember we used to have a dashboard report. So that kind of went away for a little bit for whatever reason, staff turnover. We're going to bring that back. So here's the first one, and we're splitting it up though. So this is part one of the full dashboard. It's going to be loans and incentive programs. So this is the loan dashboard. And what we did, since it'll be kind of a monthly basis, so you're going to get used to seeing this on a monthly basis. It'll be updated real time. And so what we've done is we put together the loan dashboard, and it's a summary of 2023. So we're going to pass these out, and you can take a look at this. And it'll be in the packet, going forward. Yeah. So this report, the top box is a summary of all the loans, and we've broken it down by the loan type. We've got the SBA loans, the revolving loan fund, and then the micro loan fund down below. Let me see. It was also important that we wanted to know the difference between approvals and funding. So you all, like you approved Lakeside Tool today, that won't fund for, who knows?
If we're lucky.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky,
And if you look at,
because it's a street purchase.
yeah, if you look at so SBA 504 for last year, we had, I just lost my spot. Oh, so at the top, you had 4 loans approved last year and none of them funded last year. So at the time, but it was important to show that, that you see, kind of what's happening.
That's how the ESBA tracks it.
Yeah.
By the approvals, not by how many you fund.
Right. But that doesn't mean it's done. Like Tony and Craig are still behind the scenes doing like
All right.
so
All
much.
4 are still going, right?
Yeah, anything that was approved in '23 didn't close in '23, and anything that closed in 2023 was approved in '22 or '21.
Right. But we didn't lose any deals because they fell apart or anything
No.
that we know of.
So we know.
So the typical lead time is a year?
Well, some of them were construction.
Yeah.
So, and a couple just, I don't know why. They took as long as they have, and they're still taking long.
So maybe that should be one of the goals.
So,
Yeah.
no, when we read the dashboard, it's a wink and a nod.
That's it.
It's coming. It's in the harbor.
Yeah. How do we get them funded?
You got it. It's gonna happen.
How would you like it if it was your business and you're trying to buy a facility and
Yeah.
it took them a year?
Yeah.
Well, that's why the bridge loan is there. So with the bridge loan, the borrower can always move forward because the bank's, temporarily at 90%. And then their bridge loan hangs out until the
Yeah,
SBA funds.
most of these cases, the banks have already funded them.
Yeah, so it's not really holding up the buyer or the borrower.
It's just sitting on the banks.
It's just holding up the bank. That's some temporary outstandings.
We're doing good. The SBA is on us.
Yeah.
I knew that was.
That's.
Yeah, there's a lot of little
You look at
things
the
that need to be
dashboard, the
done.
dashboard is saying that we as a board, we're doing our due diligence, our jobs, we're getting the stuff out.
So and then in 2023, there were no new revolving loan funds that were approved. And then the bottom box will be the microloan summary update. And if you recall, that was started in June of last year. So the totals at the bottom, 16 microloans were approved. 6 of them were certified MWBEs. And then we are tracking the declines. There were 23 declines, so you could, see. Tony can speak more to that if anyone has any specific questions on reasons for declines.
Was Simply Creeps 2 years ago then?
Yeah, they closed in like December of '22.
Okay. So I remember that being, I think, the last revolving loan.
That was the
one
last
we
one
did.
we did.
So why aren't we doing any revolving loans?
There didn't seem to be a very big appetite on our part for it.
Our part?
Yes.
What's that mean?
Well,
They were like, ooh, we shouldn't make any of these RLF loans.
I was gonna say, we made it very hard on Simply Crepes for Tony,
Yeah,
so he probably doesn't have any.
I'm not sure
incentive to-
how high it originated up, to be honest with you.
I think historically, the program was set up for loans that didn't qualify for SBA 504 loans for some reason. So it was a
I don't
catch-all.
think so.
I'm just
It
going
didn't
up.
used to be that way.
Okay.
I think that's how we've used it.
Well, you-
At least since I've been here, that's how we've been using it. Some of the prior ones,
Well, Phil, what's your
Not sure.
recollection of the revolving loan fund?
It was just a regular thing that happened all the time. That,
No, I
it's
mean,
a good thing
we-
to have for.
Yeah, we had a purpose for using it. though. It
Still
wasn't,
do.
yeah.
How do we source loans for the revolving loan fund? They're not coming through banks, right? They're just coming through someone who's
No.
contacting us?
Both. The last one we did was through a bank. You know, we approved it, the bank approved it.
Hold on, I'm gonna-
The SBA had an issue.
Question to answer that.
Yes.
So, this is what we have to do. Somebody has to answer. And we'll have to figure it out through Tony, Anna, or whoever, and our institutional knowledge here. Why are we doing revolving loan funds?
Why we're not.
Why we're not, okay? So we want that on the
How
next.
about this as a suggestion as part of the planning?
Yep.
Mhm.
That we say we should encourage revolving loan funds. To me, we sit here with whatever it is, how much money we got sitting in
Access, calling for, again, just in our investments, we have.
It should be
four.
Well, let us find out first why we're not using it. I mean, the tool is here. There's some reason why it just stopped.
Well, I think Tony's right. Over the past few years, it's been more of a gap type financing. It's just how it's
So we
evolved.
can customize the funding from a revolving loan fund anyway. It's not a revolving line of credit. It
Right.
could be-
No.
It could be anything we want it to be, right?
Yeah, term loans
Most
or mortgages.
term loans, most likely, demand notes,
Correct me if I'm wrong,
mortgages.
Phil. I mean, most of the time, it's when the project ends up being bigger and they're short on their equity. And we've,
Again, that's not the way it used to be.
yeah, but I mean, lately, that's, I think, what it's been, right, Tony?
Yeah, the last one with crepes.
Yeah, not just that one, but I think other ones too, Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the way I think of it.
That was right.
You got the revolving loan fund, and we're talking about most of the, SBA 504 is all real estate. Revolving loan fund you can use for non-real estate, so that people, have maybe it's an equipment need or whatever the need is, and there is a gap with the bank, they can't fund all that or whatever, or even without a bank, and you can use the revolving loan fund.
So,
Yeah.
so do you think, Tony, or someone might be able to answer this better, you're looking at the microloan funds, we approved, what, $735,000 last year in 6 months. Is that kind of cannibalizing some of the revolving loan fund there? Like would some of those dollars been used for that at all, or no?
No, I don't think there were too many of those clients that we would have.
What's our lending limit per borrower on a revolving loan transaction?
50.
No, on a revolving loan,
Oh, sorry, revolving, sorry.
we've gone as high as 500.
I said, yeah,
So we could use this for,
yeah, with
Yes.
we could use this for like taking out a shareholder, you could use it for equipment, you could use it for anything.
But I guess what Phil's point is that we're not encouraging folks to go after this, and we're not selling it. And we might have to have a conversation with the staff about that in terms of.
It's already on our list, so.
Who you encourage, at least my view, are the banks, make sure they know it's there,
Right.
so that when they run across those situations, they're calling Tony.
I had somebody ask me about it yesterday, actually.
There you go.
And our funding of that could be much faster, right? Because we're not waiting for the SBA to do anything.
Correct.
Just fund it whenever we're ready.
So it's on to be discussed and strategized. So where we at here? Okay, Barry, you're on here.
Yeah, under other business, we have one current bond application for a local charter school that we hope to be ready for the March board meeting. And we've been in discussions with a local university as well, that we would hope would have another application shortly. It could be ready for the March meeting, or it could be an April board meeting. So there's two tax-exempt bond transactions that we expect to bring to the board in the next 2 meetings or so.
Gary, is that the St. John Fisher project?
The local university, yes.
Any idea of the size?
The charter schools filed an application, and I think they're looking at tax-exempt bond around 40 million. The local university project has a construction component that would be around 30 million. And included in that is also some potential refinancing of prior MCIDC bonds.
So 30 plus.
30 plus, yeah. The refinancing would be, if they're both included, around another 20 million.
Okay.
But that will be economics dependent.
So Fisher is an example of someone that's issued a bond to us before.
2011, 2014. Yep.
Okay. Nice.
Any questions for Barry? And when will we know this, Barry?
So the charter school application's in. So I think that one will be on the March calendar, assuming they're ready on their side. For the local university project, they're still going through all their internal approvals, board meetings, etc. We don't have a final application from them. Once we receive an application, obviously we will be confirming what the timeline looks like.
I forget the charter school that we did on Ridgeway. But if you ever go over that way and you take a look at it, it turned out really beautiful. Really nice school.
Yeah, Academy of Health Sciences.
Yeah. And I think that, there's going to be more renovations like that.
So funny you say that.
It's a good segue.
Very good segue. So through Barry, Anna and myself have met with
DA Davidson.
What they're called, like what
They're a bond underwriter.
There you go. Bond underwriter, and they have a focus on charter schools, and we're in working with them now to come up with to reach out to every charter school in Monroe County and do some sort of, what we have decided if it's in-person or virtual, presentation on the benefits of doing a bond and doing the bond through MCIDC.
Who's the underwriter?
DA Davidson. Their charter school office is actually in Denver, but they have a focus nationally on financing charter schools.
Wow.
And as part of that presentation, obviously, we'll talk about the legal process and timeline and the other benefits, but and the underwriter will show what they think you need to be able to sell the bonds. But one of the things we're also interested in doing is having the success story AHS participate as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great.
So if there's nothing else, I can get you out of here and you can eat.
Wait, I just need to share that March is, if you remember, all committees need to meet in March. So I'll be reaching out to get those scheduled. We have our finance, governance, and audit. Our auditors are actually sitting in that room right now working on the audit. Yeah. So hopefully we'd like to do that the week before the board meeting, but we'll be in touch. And in a perfect world, it'd be like all three in a row, so everyone can just be here.
You know what you want to do is turn the heat down.
The
audit will go faster.
I think it's already pretty cool.
That worked for Wolf of Wall Street, I think, right? It was only a few years later he got in trouble.
Now you're good.
So we've got food over there. And
Yeah.
Hope that you will maybe want to stay and eat it, but if not,
Grab one to go.
we'll take a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.